support of the guys give you exactly that.
Exactly that. Word up. We just heard, what's that last one? Let's all get funky. Let's all get funky. It seems like I've been playing that, and a lot of people be digging that, man. They be like, yo, I had a text, man. I woke up in the morning, it was like, let's all get funky. Hello, man.
That's
man,
real.
I was up till 5:30 in the morning, man. You text me at 7 a.m. on a
That's
Sunday,
all get
man.
funky, but
it's crazy.
Is that real? That's the next single, video, everything. That's the next launch jumping off.
It's good. So. That's a nice record, man. It's a nice record, man.
Appreciate that,
definitely. Yo, there's a lot of history, as individuals, between you guys. I mean, between the both of you, there's a lot of history. I'm gonna talk to TRIBECA real quick. I know you guys you're gonna push the album. But I definitely want to talk. You used to be down with Major League, right?
Yes, I used to be signed to Major League Entertainment back in early 2000. The history from there. They was really big on like album covers and like, so we had like Reggie Jackson for the Home Run Kings.
Club of
Lang, right? They had They had one of the most infamous joints was a cat named Cash Brown, and he had Double Homicide with OJ with the cowboy boots. Yeah, and that was a slick.
I remember Cash Brown. I remember that. Yeah, Major League was a pretty popular label.
They was moving. That's when I met them. They was already rolling, and when we got together, the ideas just worked, and we worked out a situation where I could sign. I signed, and the rest was history.
They had like Illa Coin. Was he on there? Nah, it wasn't Illa Coin.
They really just had Cash Brown as their premier artist, but then they was doing like a lot of compilations. So they collabed with a lot of people, a lot of different acts. Industry standard or whatever the underground was pushing out at that point. But they
whatever happened to them?
Finances, man. You get a good run, and then if you ain't recouping that money, you can't necessarily put the money back in because you ain't got it. So
I'll be wondering about labels like that. Bronx Science, Bronx Science was a strong label. Independent. A lot of people sleep on that label.
Right.
There's a few labels I used to be like, damn, man, they should have put out mad records on here. And then you got labels like Brick in them that last as long as it. Yeah, that's still rocking. They still going strong. Yeah. That's the thing. It's crazy. Like, you got labels like Brick, you would never think, that would be doing it. Like, and then here they are, still around.
Right.
But
they found a way to flip that money, man.
So whatever happened with Major League, you just did a few tracks.
So yeah, we ended up putting out an album, but it was just like a bunch of joints thrown together, threw it on iTunes, try to see what the sales was like, and that was our relationship then. My premiere joint on Major League was the Life joint with Pharoah Monch.
The ESPN.
The Life joint.
I had that record, man. I was gonna touch base on that because I remember people going crazy over, Styles P redid the record. You know what I'm saying? And I remember using that record on a mixtape, and I remember people being like, yo, you hear this? Styles and Pharoah Monch, this joint is crazy. And I'm like, yeah, that's old, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's TRIBECA record, man. What's good? So, whatever happened.
There's actually a joint on the album that explains it very well. Tell It How It Is. But I'm going to tell you how it is.
Yeah, let's tell it how it is live. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I want to hear this.
So we're talking about ESPN The Life. It's a total different record, total different title than what Styles P put out. So it goes from me being hired to actually write the theme song for ESPN's shows called The Life. They had a show called The Life. I wrote the theme song for it. It was an instrumental that was owned by Major League Entertainment. And it's so many variables. So the instrumental was actually an old Cash Brown record called Last Man Standing. So
that actually came out. Wasn't that a track that came out?
Exactly. It was part of a 12-inch, I believe, like a B-side. Yeah. But that instrumental, they actually chose that.
Ayatollah, right?
Ayatollah, exactly. Yeah. They actually chose that beat for the theme. Then they wanted a theme song for it, a full theme song. They asked me to pen it. I penned it. They had the same deal with Raucous. That's how Pharoah Monch got involved. And Pharoah Monch jumped on it. The song was born. So it was put out as the theme song. So that was my involvement in it at that point. Now, behind the scenes, I think they was reworking it for Sound Bombing 3, and that's where the Styles P version comes out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
So it's all dollars and cents. I think he reworked the beat a bit, A little bit, but it was the same sample, but the chops and the hook was pretty much the same.
It was the same.
Yeah.
It was the same without a TRIBECA verse. You
exactly.
know what I mean? It was
I told him, yo, I say that now. I would have took the third verse.
Were you tight?
That was a hit, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a big record when I was coming up.
That was a hit. I wasn't so much. I didn't understand that. I was young. Like, wait, they could have just asked me to. You know what I'm saying? But Styles P is a premier artist, so you know I get it. I had no relationship with Rawkus. You know, Major League was coming up essentially to be the next Rawkus, so that relationship was never there with Rawkus and Major League. So there was no conversation other than Pharoah Monch jumping on the record. Yeah. After that,
they ended up putting out like white label style anyway. It was like it didn't come out.
Yeah, we deboed that. Like that's money. Like we worked on that. That was the inspiration came from what was produced for the theme. So essentially, it's the same record, but you know. The name is a little different. The artist is a little different. No doubt. And Grand Agent, yeah, you came in straight like a freight train. I think you had a joint with AG.
First album was
there was
a single.
There was a single, but there was like a 90 album in 95 or something, wasn't there? Or
not as Grand Agent. No.
Unreleased. Did I hear something about?
My man got your demos, B.
Unreleased demos. I think that's what I don't know, man.
Maybe. What happened? 95 through 98, I was in a group called Name in Philly. It was me and two other cats, Old Man and Mr. Sism. Now, we was, for the most part, a Philadelphia phenomenon that leaked out a little bit here and there, you know what I mean? We went to Chicago and we came to New York a couple times, but that's like, it was a scene that we was involved in at that time when Philly was in a kind of a slump. It was kind of like after Schoolie D and that first wave and before Beans and all of that, Rockefeller and Eve and all that happened. And at that time, it was just like the Roots and Bahamadia was really the only people that was on. And a lot of local dudes just basically built a scene, you know what I'm saying? So that was the 95 to 98. The first, that thing you might be talking about is called the Lost Page of the B-Boy Document. Maybe. I don't know if you even talking about that. But after 98...
That's when it started getting real crazy.
Right.
Man.
After 98... that's kind of when Grand Agent, I kind of branched away from the group and started the Grand Agent. So the first Grand Agent single was called Mingling. It was produced by Cutmaster Kurt. And then the B-side had AG on it. It was called Rap in Words. And AG and then my man Ahmed, shout out to Ahmed Wildlife, he worked on it. And it just kind of went from there. That went into the first album, which
Special Agent, right?
No, it was called By Design, the first album, By Design. Grand Agent By Design. Had High Tech worked on it. Planet Asia was on there. Cutmaster Kurt did 2 joints. My man Chops from Philly did a couple joints. Who else? Oh, Lord Finesse. How I forget that? Lord Finesse did a joint. And that was kind of how I got started. You know what I'm saying?
What's that like? You work with a lot of producers, man.
Yeah,
you work with Pete Rock too, didn't you?
Pete Rock, that came after the album. Well, Pete Rock was... Lord Finesse was a crazy session.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it was kind of like... It was from zero. I mean, it was no beat, no nothing when we started. It was like, he comes in, makes the track, I write it, lay a verse, hook, write another verse, lay a verse. So it was like, I think we started about 11 or, no, I think we were supposed to be there at 11. I think he came in about 1.
That's hip-hop time right there.
Put the joint together, and I think we left at like 3 in the morning and it was done.
Wow, 2 hours.
No. 11 in the morning till 3 in the morning. So what's that? 16 hours or something like that.
Okay, I got it.
And we just went, you know what I mean? We just went verse, and Eddie Sancho was the engineer. We was at D&D, so it was like the full-blown hip-hop experience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it was cool, man. So that was a good experience. And then after the album, I was on Groove Attack Records at that time, and they did an album, what do you call it? Compilation album.
Yeah. Super Rapping,
and then they was doing Super Rapping 2 when I was there, and so they didn't like the track I submitted. You know what I'm saying? And I guess because I was on the label, they was like, well, he got to be on there. And Pete Rock was doing the joint. And Pete was like behind schedule. They was like, well, we waiting for Pete Rock. You want us to ask him? Like this is literally what they said. You want us to ask him if he would do his joint with you? I'm like, what you think? You know what I'm saying? So they talked to Pete. He was like, yeah, come on. You know what I'm saying? So that was another hip hop moment. It's like, I'll go down Green Street. You know what I'm saying? Public Enemy plaques on the wall. Jamie Staub is in there. He the engineer. You know what I'm saying? I go in there. And then for it seemed like 3 hours, Pete is just playing PlayStation. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, when we gonna do the joint? But it wasn't like that. I was just like, yo, because I had came up from Philly. And so finally he like, all right, let's get to work. You know what I'm saying? So
I be hating that. I ain't even gonna lie, man. I got a low tolerance for that right there, man. Nowadays, maybe when you coming up, it's all right when you gotta do what you gotta do. Right. But at a certain point, man, at this age, I don't be
okay. But we talking 15, 16 years
talk
ago.
About at the time where Pete. You know, and you need to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That was the vibe.
Believe me, I waited outside 2.5 hours for a drop once, so I know the feeling. You know what I mean? When you coming up on the DJ tip. So I definitely understand. So.
Right. So so then he start playing the track, and he like, what we gonna do, this and that. So I spit the hook to him. This is what they meant by, and he gave me the stank face like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, we good. and then I just laid it real quick. And it was a situation where I think I was actually going out of town like the next day or the next day and a half or something. And so he finished it up later, sent it. And by that time, I'm sitting in Germany in the office of Groove Attack. And they like, hey, we got the Pete Rock joint that's finished. Everybody like, hey, this is so crazy. After we played it, everybody was just like, ain't nobody really know, because it didn't come off like crazy bombastic, like, yo, a shut them down or even a they reminisce. It was just real subdued type of joint. And actually, people wasn't sure if they liked it or not, or if it was just like, yo, Pete Rock did this, so we gotta like it. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't nothing they could do but put it out. It's like they paid for it. It ain't time to go. The album is on the schedule. And so it turned out that it came out and people genuinely liked the joint. To the point where next time I seen Pete, he was like, yo, everybody liked that joint. Like he was even a little bit shocked. Like he was like, yo, people always coming up to me about that joint. So I was like, well, that's good money.
That's good. That's good right there. That's good.
Yeah.
Like pretty much after that, what you guys? I know you guys. This isn't your first project, right? You guys worked on a project. You guys had a prior project before this new one, right?
Right.
EP.
Yeah. So me and GA, I actually met him. I was on tour with Camp Low, rocking with them, and he was actually on tour headlining with it was you, Tajay, and Camp Low, and a bunch of other cats behind, and that's when I met him. So we then
what year?
This was
04.
04, yep. 2004. So it's been a minute. We've been building the relationship for a minute, vibe-wise. And our first collaboration was Minivan with Camp Low, which was about like just the grind of the tour. And from there, we just kept in touch and working on joints back and forth. I was really sending them beats. I wasn't really MCing like that. And then we did an EP called Mega. And that joint was just dope sonically. The sound was different. We was trying to, well, I don't know if we was purposely trying to come up with a different sound, but like my live instrumentation, even the Minivan sample And the title track, Mega, is just a whole type of different sounding joint. Like I chopped up a joint and he killed it. And then we kind of knew that the relationship working wise was really dope. So we started working on joints. Then after that we did I Go Hard. And I Go Hard kind of led us into working on a bunch of other music and, me on the microphone as well. And
you do all the production.
I do all the production. Well,
it's crazy. I would never thought of you as a producer. I always thought of you as a rapper, man.
I mean, I'm gonna take that as a compliment.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real. I mean, I never really thought. I never thought that you were the man behind the boards on a lot of that stuff.
I always been an MC first. Me producing. Let me tell you something crazy. So Camp Lo, they had a studio. The relationship, they had to move the equipment out. They ended up putting it in my room while they went on tour. I think they went on tour with like De La or something. And I'm just a nosy. I'm just nosy, man. So I'm like, wait. Let me turn this on. I turned it on and I started just working it out. I knew the parameters, how to work the machine, but I never really made beats. So I was an MPC. I started chopping joints and
liked it. Yeah, that was
some of my first beats. That's the beats I sold first. So that's how I knew it was real.
I was gonna say, who else besides your team? Meaning you and Grand Agent. Who else have you done some production for?
I worked with Joe Claire from BET, KRS-One, Joel Santana, a bunch of other cats. There's a ton of unnamed cats that I got a lot of material for. I do a ton of licensing and TV work. A lot of sports, Fox Sports, even like licensing. We just did what's that? There's a show on NBC. I think Mindhunters or something. We did something for there. So I'm constantly licensing, getting music for the background, trying to bring the income up. But
that's that smart money.
I mean, there's so many avenues in hip hop. It's not just buying the record. It's this is a global business now. What you wear is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? How you talk is hip hop. So however we can get it, we need to try to get it. This is our culture.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
So now we got the new project.
Yeah.
I mean, the relationship seems like you guys got great energy together. So
that's why it's working, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you guys dropped the first EP. Now in between time, what was going on? Were you guys setting up this project? Did you guys fall back for a second after the first project? When did this new project, Sport of the Gods,
all right,
start coming together?
So Mega came out in 2014, and then I believe I Go Hard, which as he said was the first time we both rhymed on the joint. That was probably, I want to say, the Final Four, so like March of 15.
Right.
And then from right there, I was actually living out west at that time, so it was kind of like I just had beats. And as the mood struck me, I would just write something, send it to him, and then slowly, like 2 or 3 of the joints that's on here started to come together. And then some time passes. I feel like we lost touch for a while.
Right.
And then I ended up moving back east in 16. And then I just kind of reached out, or he reached out, or something. It was just like, yo. And then we just listened to everything that was already pre-existing. So by that time, it was maybe 4, maybe 5.
Right.
And we was like, yo, we gotta finish this. You know what I'm saying? And first thing we did after that was Take a Knee. Because once we started talking, it was like that was bubbling, right? And at the same time, we had already decided, because Sport of the Gods was a song that was done. And we was like, yo, that's the title. Like, that's the whole theme of the whole movement right there. And so Sport of the Gods, TRIBECA having a history with the sports, like you said, the Major League covers, the ESPN block,
right.
And just being, I think, part of his character.
That's a dope title, though. Yeah. Sport of the Gods.
Yeah.
I actually got it. It's a book by Paul Lawrence Dunbar, and then the story, this family come from down south. Think they move in Harlem, and then the city just destroys their family. You know what I mean?
That's great.
And And his version of Sport of the Gods is like is what the tricks that fate play on you. You know what I'm saying? And I just always, that title just stuck with me. And, before I go into anything, I try to research, is it circulating? And it really hadn't been. So I'm like, well, this is worth pursuing because it's just such an ill statement. And so for us, you know what I mean, it means, hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? It's the sport of it. And so that's just a hybrid of sports and music and how that worked together. And so while we was talking about presenting the concept, the phrase "take a knee" just came out because it was on everybody's lips at that time. And just very quickly, Tribeca laid the chorus, sent it to me, back and forth real quick. And once we heard that, it was kind of like, okay, this supposed to be happening. This is the time. Let's move out, Right. And so that was September, October last year.
Yep.
And then we was like, okay, we got all of this. Tribeca was like, we need this kind of joint, we need that kind of joint to round it out. And Let's All Get Funky was one of those.
Right.
And Caught Up was the other one. And we had our 10, and we was real specific about being 10 joints, just classic hip hop, Criminal Minded, Illmatic, Paid in Full. Like, if you can't do it in 10 joints, you probably can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
And it was born, Yeah.
What I was gonna say, now you representing Philly, Tribeca, you representing the BX.
You already know.
Where you from in the BX? We got a lot of heads locked down.
Nah,
so, but we don't get Bronx MCs anymore. Bronx, right. I'm telling you, when I don't get Bronx MCs that much anymore. Wow. I haven't been to a show in the Bronx in a long time. Yeah. You live there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. It's raw. It's for some reason the Bronx is being I don't see us a lot of Brooklyn. You know what I mean? A lot of Brooklyn, a lot of Queens.
Right.
Seeing a lot of that. Here we got the Bronx.
I don't know. I see cats on the corner spitting though. Like I'll be walking. I'm from the Kingsbridge area, actually. Valentine, Grand Concourse, Sedgwick, University, Kid Capri, Camp Low.
You know about the Preacher?
The Preacher?
Yeah.
I may know about the Preacher.
Nah, I never heard of the Preacher. Nah. He had that spot in the Grand Concourse. He had a crew. You don't know what I'm talking about?
That's like Tremont?
He was, I think it was like $2.99 something. He was like a murderer. He was chopping people up in the bank. He from the Bronx.
I remember the Hammer Man. We had the Hammer. My man was going around hammering women.
Oh wow!
We had the Hammer.
Yeah, that's next level.
Yeah, that's the whole nother.
They owned a building. It was a preacher's crew. They owned some building on the Grand Concourse, man. It was like they're like responsible for 80 joints.
I gotta go ask some questions.
Wow. They responsible for like 80 joints, and they had like a spot in the basement where they used to just hack them up.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And he had a cleanup crew called the Janitors and all that. It was around for like 16 years. That was the only reason why I was asking.
I ain't never.
Hold up. They said the Preacher was crazy, man. Extortionist.
Wow. I mean, I don't doubt it, man. The Bronx is rough. They try to live. It's a survival area. You know what I'm saying? But that's everywhere in a nutshell. But
nowadays.
Yeah, nowadays. People are just trying to survive. So you understand it to an extent. But the Bronx is full of artists and acts. It's just I think the resources aren't really there as far as help and people trying to get their music out. Like if you following the wrong person, you're not really gonna get there. So I always say ask a question. When cats see me, if I can answer a question to help you get your foot forward, I'm gonna answer it, bro. So you need help, just reach out. You know what I'm saying? We always trying to help people get on their feet.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
Yes, sir.
It's just an honor to have people from the Bronx, Philadelphia. It's a great honor to have you guys up. Like I said, I'm not gonna get into the details, but like when I was coming up making mixtapes and doing mix CDs, it's only right. There was a lot of joints that really played a part in, when, like I said, the ESPN, the major leagues, and all that stuff. Right. So to have you guys up here, I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even know I was getting something that said TRIBECA-GRAND. I never put two and two together.
Right.
I can be honest.
Right.
I never put two and two together. Right. I said to myself, TRIBECA-GRAND. Then I seen a video and I come to find out,
right?
Yo, this is Tribeca. That's Grand Agent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then homie.
That's how we did it too. Yeah. We didn't want to do the. Oh, they collaborating.
Right.
We're an actual group on paper,
right?
Legally. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to know that this is not just a one-off.
Right.
We got similar careers. My man traveled. He done moved to Germany to get it. You know what I'm saying? So this is real. Like, that's why we're here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, we're here as a group, not as like, yeah, we got a project together.
Right.
We almost finished the next one, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's that good news right there.
You already know.
Right.
Grand Agent seems to be putting in a lot of work. I got another joint with Dre Yards. I seen that was like the most.
That was from that dude. Yo, you talking about a grinding ass dude, boy?
He grinds.
He got 74 features on that joint.
I know he on you too, right?
Yeah. Like
he had my
just getting that amount of dudes to record and send verses.
That's patience, bro.
Yeah. That's persistent. Yo, that's a skill of its own. You know what I mean?
The worst part about it is I probably know about another 150 MCs that have done something for him that he's never even used their verses.
Wow.
So he's sitting on that much stuff. You know what I mean?
That's I don't even know who he is. I mean, I always hit him up like, yo, since he hit me up, yo, you know some DJs in Russia, some DJs in Belarus? Like, I used to connect.
Brother.
Yeah, but I'm like, yo, as far as I can tell, he came out of nowhere. And I look at that track list, I'm like, what? 74 features?
My man do his thing. Shout out to Dre Yard,
no
man.
Doubt.
No doubt. We're gonna play that one later on. We're gonna get into that NY joint in a minute. But now with this new project, man, where's some outlets? Where's some outlets where the people can get it?
No doubt.
You know, the videos, talk about the videos, talk about the social networks, whatever.
No doubt.
Whatever plugging you guys got to do to both you guys, please.
Please
do. No doubt. Well, all our stuff is at Sport of the Gods. So that's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at Sport of the Gods, all spelled properly, SPORTOFTHEGODS. And that's also the website, sportofthegods.net. So if you on Spotify, just TRIBECA-GRAND Sport of the Gods. You know, it's on Apple Music, Google Music, all the streaming platforms. We got CDs, which you can get at the website. We got Sport of the Gods t-shirts now. We actually just had our release party Thursday night.
Right.
Blastmaster KRS-One, DJ Touchtone, Lady B, legendary Lady B out of Philadelphia. So that was a big event, like 600 plus people.
You said Bumpy was out in Philly with him?
Oh yeah, right. Bumpy Nux was there. He came out. It was crazy. It was like jam packed to the like
fire cold.
Yeah. So that was real lovely.
And everything was peace.
Oh,
that's so
beautiful.
dope. I love when you got a jam joint in the
I told the bouncer, like, you had a good night. You had a great night.
Yeah.
Nobody. All you had to do is check IDs.
Yeah. That's all you had to do.
About. Look at that. Look at that ass and check IDs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's hip hop. That's what we need more of. Like just events to run smoothly. Cats rock. Cats have a good time. Dance. Party. Ladies dance. Party. You know, we all go home. Do it again the next day.
That's it. Word. I think a lot of the events just don't hold that passion like they used to. When you pack a house, and energy is right, it really brings the best out of the artist performing as well.
No doubt.
Know what I mean?
No doubt.
That affects the artist. So when the energy is like real proper in there, you know what I mean? I'm sure you guys tore it down, right?
That was dope.
I feel like we did. I feel like we did, and you know, it's just an honor, man, just to put something together. You know what's also good about this project too is like I feel like what I started to see when we started to come back out and hit the radio shows is like our careers and our body of work has matured and to the point where it's like even though you know he had the life and I might have had the Pete Rock joint and you know it would have been very easy for people to kind of count us out like, oh, they peaked already with them because, you know, nothing maybe bigger than that happened after that. Right. But
it's funny how people's names attached to your music can do something like that. It's actually sickening.
Right.
Like, that was your peak of Pete Rock.
Right.
Yo, I made joints after that. What you talking about, man? That ate that track alive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got joints after that ate that Pete Rock beat. I got a beat from my man that is unknown that rips that thing in half.
Right.
Culture, man.
I hate that part of it.
That's the cultural point of view. That's the art point of view, but you got to fight through that industry point of view too, that public perception, you know. Sir. And this record, this was so beautiful about it. It's like this, like you said, you got it, TRIBECA-GRAND. You ain't even really put two and two together. So it's like it's a real subtle reinvention that give everybody a nice reset, give everybody some space from what was done, but also you get to ride the respect of what was done, because
precisely
once we started doing these interviews and making the rounds, it was like I felt like people was looking at me and treating me a little bit differently than when I was out grinding, you know, for them 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in a row. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because because of just what you said, it's like, and I got into this fight early on with the dude I was making my first album with. I was like, look, dude, we don't have to get no name brand producer to make this work, you know? And he told me straight up, I'm not even going to call the dude's name. I'm not even going to say it. But he told me, he was like, you know, I feel like a real, I don't know if we're still in clean hours, but.
You'd be all right.
All right. Yeah. He was like, I feel like a bitch saying this, but. Because I used to make my own beats, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. SP 1200 era. He was like, yo, you dope and everything sounds dope. I feel like a bitch saying this, but we got to get a name on it to sell it. And I'm like.
It's crazy, ain't it? What about building the name?
Exactly.
What about that?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But that just was always, I seen from that moment forth, a matter of who you do business with and how. And the extent to what, you know, because he believed in me, obviously. You know what I mean? We might have spent $40,000 making that album. So he believed in me, but he believed in the business more than the art, you know what I'm saying? So it's
a learning process.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's a learning process.
No
doubt. I had a group. I thought the same thing, man. I'm over there getting the Mollies. I got a Molly and knots, and it just, you know, the music got to stand on its own.
Right.
You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, it's like how you use your money. Sure, you could take $10,000 and get a producer, but now you got to promote that record.
Right.
Now you got no money.
Right.
So you hope that name gets that money back instead of using your man that's the same type of hot and promoting that artist. So you build him up, right?
Yep.
And now you got an in-house producer that's going to sell the record anyway.
Yep.
Win-win. That's business, though, you know, but society has set it up that way business-wise. Like, yo, you need a name. You put a name on the billboard, people going to come. They don't always come.
No, I definitely feel that right there. There. And plus, I don't care what anybody says. Units just don't sell like they used to.
You ain't lying, brother. Tell them again.
Yeah,
tell them again.
I don't care who it is. Right. I don't care who it is. It could be Master Killer, who just dropped a project. Right. And I mean, if he sold 1,000 copies, he probably did good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's great if he sold 1,000.
You understand?
1,000 physicals?
Yeah. That's how bad the game has been broken.
Fat Beats don't even press 1,000 out the. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're coming out with 100 pressings. But you guys have vinyl too, don't you? No.
We got a crowd. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
We got a crowdfunding campaign, which is we need people to pre-order the vinyl. You can do that at the website too, sportoftheguys.net. So it's kind of works like Kickstarter, but it's called Diggers Factory.
Yeah, Diggers Factory.
Right. So if we hit our mark by I forget what the deadline, but we might have like 2-3 weeks left. So if we hit our 100 pre-orders, then they press it, they ship it out, and you know what I mean, whatever the difference is, we collect that. So
collector's item, y'all.
Yeah. So this is
you don't even need turntables.
Exactly.
That's dope. Like how Diggers Factory is doing that though.
Right.
You know, I don't know if you obviously Melee Sparks.
Yeah.
A lot of the people be using them. I've been noticing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how they give you a chance where you can actually get your joint pressed on vinyl, but you gotta sell it. You know, you gotta pre-order the records. You know what I mean? So that's dope. That's dope that's working out. So hopefully the pre-orders make and the vinyl gets pressed.
Right now, absolutely. Come with it, y'all.
Now the future. What's the future looking like after tonight? Videos we got coming out. What do we got on the video tip anyway? So people can check that too.
So we got NYPHI. That video was on YouTube. It's on the website, I believe, right? Are we linked to that from the website?
I believe so, but YouTube it. NYPHI, TRIBECA-GRAND.
And we got Let's All Get Funky is going to drop anytime soon. It's a dope. Our personalities is ill together, how we work together. Just everything is pretty much a joke necessarily, or it's just a good time. So the video is going to actually reflect that. And then you could expect a video from everything else.
Yeah, we at this point we trying to ramp up to a video a month. You know what I'm saying? In terms of keeping the album in people's face, expanding the audience. Because one thing we not trying to do is step on it with something new before. You know, it take time for these things to circulate when you ain't got a multi-million-dollar rollout. You know what I'm saying? And from the response that we getting, I mean, we've seen every record on the album on somebody's playlist.
Somebody's, yeah, it's L.
All 10 of them have. That means some DJ somewhere has said, yo, this one is my joint. To all different joints.
Different,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's All Get Funky happens to be my joint.
That's what's up.
That's my joint. I'm glad that you coming out with a video.
Yeah. So that's also taking that time, give us the chance to do the videos according to what the feedback has been. So you're not the only one. Let's All Get Funky has been especially a DJ favorite. So that's why we went with that one next. You know what I mean? But we've also gotten comments on Caught Up. We've seen a lot of spins on Caught Up.
Yep.
We had a lot of DJs on Laughing at You. So, and then we got football season coming back with more Take a Knee drama. We definitely
I was going to say, like, the way you said Take a Knee dropped in October.
Right.
You guys been working, like, the name been getting out there since October. We're talking about June, and you're still pushing the name, which is such a tremendous thing at this time and space, where everything being expendable the way it is, the internet, everything is just like, all right, I saw it. 5 minutes later, you're like a child that don't want to play with a toy, throws it in the corner, grabs another toy.
Exactly.
It's like, that's exactly how people's mind states. But you guys are staying. I mean, whether it's coming up to my show, radio shows, you guys are still doing release parties. You're still dropping videos. You are pushing your product.
And that's the encouragement right there. Is, you know, it's still it's ageless music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has no age. It gotta feel. You might feel like, yo, this joint take me back to here. But I'm gonna tell you something crazy about NY5. My man, shout out to my man Geechee Sway from Camp Low. He posted a snippet of the video of NYPHI. His feed went haywire. Like, it just went crazy. Like 5,000 views in a couple days. People wondering, like, yo, who's this? That song peaked at college radio at #1 already. That's a whole nother audience we ain't tap into. So how can we put the music down? You know what I'm saying? There's so much more out there that would appreciate this music. And it's not people saying, oh, it's okay. They went haywire. You could go to your man, his page, his comments, and you'll see, like, they enjoyed it thoroughly and asking about the record, and that's just a whole nother audience. So how many more audiences out there or listeners that we didn't tap into?
Exactly.
You know, that's why we keeping it going, man.
It's very, very smart, because the more work you put in, if you catch a few people here, a few people there.
Exactly.
Right now, that's, to be honest, when you keeping it, I hate to say it, when you're keeping it hip-hop, I hate to say the term. Because there really is no boundary. But when you're keeping it like that and you putting your heart into it, all them little things matter.
No doubt.
Every play on a playlist, every time a person says, yo, that record's dope, you know, it all matters, man. It all makes you want to keep going.
That is real.
Because this industry will have you wanting to quit. Word up.
I mean, it
will kill your passion, man. It'll kill your passion.
If you let it.
If you let it.
And sometimes it feel like even if you don't let it, it'll creep up on you. But I think that the not moving with the industry line of, yo, that's that been out for 2 weeks. I can't post. It's like, nah, like
put money into this, man.
I think, exactly. And I think we've been fortunate to come out with something that, like my man said, it don't really have a stamp date on it. You know what I mean? So, and then it's like, when you hear it, it's new to you. It don't matter really, you know what I'm saying?
Old to me, new to you.
Exactly. So, we just gonna stay on it, man. We're gonna stay on it.
But we coming. We got a lot more.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, and you're gonna see even with since you even said it. Let's all get funky. Is a my personal. A lot of people liking it. You're gonna see it go back up again.
No doubt.
Right. Just when it's on idle. It's like you guys are still creating the album. I'm talking wise, but you guys are creating behind the scenes.
Right.
Soon as the video drops, here we go again, back up. So it's very strategic, and you got to be strategic in this game right now. Man. You got to make every hit got to connect. You know what I mean? Like everything's got to matter. Every move matters. So
hold up.
Now the future, man. What's going on?
Well, that's we were still answering that question. Yeah. So the videos is kind of the marketing strategy, and right now, man, we working on a bona fide tour situation. You know what I'm saying? We talking to a few different booking agents, and that's kind of like the last piece of the puzzle we really need to solidify. You know what I'm saying?
For this album,
yeah. And just for the group and for the movement in general. You know what I'm saying? So it's been kind of like a bit of a whirlwind where, like Take a Knee caught on, and then we kind of whipped up NY5 to buy us some time. Right. And then that peaked, and it was like, all right, we had the album, but we thought we was going to be able to hold it a while and plan things out a little bit more. But it was like momentum was there, so
had to ride with it.
Right, let the album come. So, and I ain't really mad at it, you know what I'm saying? It's because that way we know we on course and we doing what we supposed to be doing, and it's leading us really, you know what I'm saying? Just like I said the other day, we done 2 shows. First one was with Pete Rock.
Right.
Second one was with KRS-One. So it's like, in terms of being on a good trajectory,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
The path is being laid out for us. Like,
exactly.
This is, we're not strategically trying to get these people. This is what's coming to us. So
no doubt.
That comes with the energy that you guys are putting into it, putting out too. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
They're gonna lay it down.
That's the relationship wise. Like the relationship has built that way. So one thing, the energy has been great.
Yeah, no doubt.
Has been really good, man. But we still rocking, we still on it. So much more to come in the future. We hope that everybody go check us out at sportofthegods.net. Follow us at Sport of the Gods on Instagram and Facebook. And rock
Twitter.
out with us, man. And Twitter.
No doubt.
Now, Grand Agent.
Yeah.
You strictly working with the TRIBECA-GRAND thing, or you've been doing any solo stuff?
Well, the joint you mentioned when we was talking about Dre Yard, that was done a while ago, you know what I'm saying? And that's coming out. But, people been getting at me a little bit here and there, and I kind of not really wanting to do that, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't really want to dilute this. I know on the one hand, promotion is promoting you out, but I'm kind of not really feeling that.
That's fine
right now. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling that.
With the fam, doing what I do. You know? I definitely understand.
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know
if maybe you were working on like a solo project, Little Beats and Tribeca. You know what I mean? Like something like that.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I feel like at some point it may come to that. I'm open to that. But you know what's really funny is also right before Take a Knee, I had just finished the album, kind of. Like, I literally was, before we started talking about Take a Knee, I had finished the joint. I was about to go out west, see my man, hang out at his crib, mix the album. Like, I had already looked at flights and everything. And then Take a Knee came together, and I was like, oh, no, this is what needs to happen right now. You know what I'm saying?
The universe, how they talk about the universe crazy. It's been some universe, even just atmosphere. I personally feel like, we done paid the dues.
Right.
Like
they've been paid.
Yeah, the tour, but people don't understand it, but just the tour we was on when we met, that was a roller coaster of a ride. So that alone, I came out there like a vet, like, like, yo, I'm talking about car accidents. I'm talking about mountains with no rails going up, snowing. Like, you don't understand. Like,
yeah, bro. Just so you know, like, I'm gonna just recap that story because this is how wild it was, yo. We start, and I had did a tour. This was my last thing I did in Europe. Actually, was also with Camp Low Large Professor. Right. This is the end of the year, 2003, Christmas to New Year's, right? January 1st or 2nd or 3rd, somewhere at the top of the year, I'm like moving back from Germany now. I'm coming back to the States, right onto this tour. So it's me and Camp Low again, but now it's Ty J. So we start in LA, right? Dog, by the time we get to Seattle, the money, the whole thing is so lopsided that the bus driver is like, yo, if y'all can't pay me, I gotta go back. Couldn't come up with the bread. Now, this ain't us. This is the situation, right? Like, yo, I'm going back to California. Anybody want to ride is welcome to go, but I'm done. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't got the bread. So the tour split in half. It was damn near. So it ended up being Ty J and his man Shake the Mayor. That's two. It was me, and I had somebody with me, Tribeca, Camp Low. So it ended up being 8 people. So that was like another 8 went back. So that's how deep we was. You know what I'm saying?
The bus was.
Yo, man, shout out. And I told Ty J this, man, many times, man. Yo, this dude took and put the whole tour on his back. I'm talking about went in his wallet, took out his whatever card, rented 2 minivans, and all the essential players. We just drove the rest of the tour ourselves.
Right.
Yo, and that's what we talking about. So we from Seattle through Montana, Idaho, snowstorms, blizzard, whiteouts. You can't see this far in front of you. Yo, man, showing up in
like
barns, like
much.
Square dance looking spots. You know what I mean? Roadhouse type joints.
Yeah, tearing it down, right?
Yeah. But they was rocking though.
Yo, that's what it matters.
Yo,
he said Roadhouse type joints. That's mad funny.
For real, man. I'm talking about them western towns.
Yeah,
Main Street.
It was a bar.
That's actually my flick right there. I like that flick. My man Patrick Swayze. Word up. What was his name? He was the bartender. He was badass.
Yeah. He was rocking out.
Yeah, he was hard body in that joint. You couldn't tell him nothing. Rip homie's throat out and all that. Word up. You know what I'm talking about. You seen the movie.
So we went up in joints like that. Then from there down to Arizona. Yo, we trucked them 3,000 miles across country in minivans. The whole pulled over by the cops with cups of Hennessy in the cup holder. My man smelling like reefer.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just and got a pass from the cops down south. You know, so Angels was with us, but like we not new to this by any means. We not and we not what am I trying to say? Like, we got respect for the culture and for the business, because you have to. You know what I'm saying? Right, you got to find your balance. And I feel like this project showcases everything we've learned over the past 20 years, my 20, his 20.
Right.
That's a lot of information and a lot of tutelage and a lot of dues, as he said. And it's all just compressed into this one project right here.
Beautiful,
you know what I'm saying?
Beautiful energy, everything. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Support of the gods is out there right now. We got the great TRIBECA-GRAND agent, TRIBECA-GRAND in the building. Yeah. Poughkeepsie 91.3 FM.
Poughkeepsie, what up?
Yeah. DJ ENYOUTEE up in here tonight. We got like mad people from London and all types of stuff coming through, but we starting off real right. You know what I mean? With TRIBECA-GRAND. Anything else you guys want to touch base on, man? You want to talk about anything else? You want to tell the people anything?
Well, I mean,
while you here,
generally, you just rock with us. Trust what we got going on. If you need to go back and hear the life or hear GA's, join with P-Rock or with Law Finesse, go back and you'll see from there to here, exactly what we some hip hop cats, and you know we doing it for the culture, but we also doing it for ourselves as well. You know, trying to better ourselves and create music that we want to listen to, and that's where it really comes from first. Like I could listen to my album through and through. It's a great driving joint. Right. It's a nice listen. Go check it out. Go sample it. Go to the website. Check it out. You like it, you buy it. Preferably you buy it. You know what I'm saying? Right. But just rock with us.
Yo, buy the record, man. Stop playing.
Life.
You're so cheap, man.
Yeah.
People are so
and these
cheap.
days it ain't even buy. You know, just stream it. You know what I mean?
What's that you said at the show?
Yeah,
bro?
I told them, yo, go on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever. You ain't even gotta listen to it. You could turn your phone down, play the whole joint, put on repeat, go to sleep. I don't even care. It's support. It's support. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's easy now. If you got your subscription service, just taste it. You know what I'm saying? Just get a taste. Especially if you one of them people who be talking about, just look at they did the hip hop and this, you know what I'm saying? If you one of them,
those are the biggest pains in the ass.
Yeah,
so,
but you know, they
hip hop. Yo, do this. I have a whole every week. I got tons of music. Tons of music.
Exactly. They can't just turn. You can't turn it off.
You never hear me say that because I get so much music. I'm like, I'm never. I'm talking about. I got plenty of it.
Right. Thanks for stations like this and shows like this to keep it coming, because that's the only way they really get to hear on a stream level, or even to get artists like us to personally come and tell about ourselves. So thank you, bro.
I appreciate you guys taking the trip, man. And like I said, you guys were both big influences in my early days of DJing. I wasn't a DJ when you dropped the record with AG, but I was a DJ by the time you came out with the album. Wow. You know what I mean? I was on volume 3. And then I remember coming up with Major League. Right. And then I had Volume 8. ESPN was on 2001. So it was all those records came out in 2001, if I'm correct.
You are correct.
And
great influence on me as a DJ. I appreciate you guys coming up tonight.
No doubt.
Well, like I said, I think we're going to play, what is it, NY to PHI?
Let's do it.
NY to PHI, right?
Yeah.
And then what I'm gonna do is I gotta take care of some stuff. I gotta get a drink, but I got a pre-recorded show from last week that's gonna fill in for like 20 minutes until I can get swap out things. I'm gonna play this record from TRIBECA-GRAND. It's NY to PHI. They got the video out. Sport of the Gods is out right now. Big ups. Thank you guys for coming through,
bro.
man. I appreciate you guys coming through. Definitely much love. Definitely check the album. Like I said, I'm gonna step out, but the hip hop's still gonna be rolling through. That's it. And then I'm coming back in with the new show. When you hear them shout outs coming, you know we playing that new and exclusive material. It's gonna be coming in. All right, 91.3 FM is the station. WVKR, Poughkeepsie, New York, the world famous No Ideas original radio show every Saturday night from 12 to 3 Sunday morning, but tonight we're doing a special edition from 9 to 3, 6-hour block. We got Jay Ronan, Sav Kills, The Fly Hooligan, and Frank Knight coming through. And that's about it. TRIBECA-GRAND. You know what I mean?
Thanks for having us, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yes, sir.
Yup. Peace.
Peace.